Hi, this is Dave Bisbee coming to you from the beautiful Seven Canyons here in Sedona, Arizona. What we're going to talk about in this segment are these little shots right around the greens where you find yourself in the rough. A lot of times you'll get these little lies that they call them a bird's nest lie on the tour, where the ball really settles down in that rough. And as you can see here, I don't have a whole lot of green to work with. So how do we get ourselves out of this situation with the least amount of damage? I like to play this shot like I was playing a sand shot, meaning that I'll open that club face up just a little bit to add loft to it. And then I'm making a pretty long, big swing, making sure I keep that club moving through that rough, because it's going to try to grab and slow down that club. Now, the other thing I have to take into consideration is I'm not going to be able to spin this ball. So I'm really trying to flop it kind of out and get it to stop. But I have to be aware of what's on the other side of that green, because this comes off with very little spin, and it can really roll right back down into even more trouble. So here's how we'd execute that. Club face is open. I put a little bit of weight on my target side, and then I make a big swing, and I'd be really satisfied with that result. So remember, lay the club open, little weight on the target side, a big swing that keeps the club moving to get that ball to pop up out of there and sit down. Now we're going to look at another situation. So now we have a little different situation here. A very similar lie in that it is really nestled down in that deep grass, but a much different situation in terms of where the flag is. That first shot we hit, we didn't have much green to work with. We were a little above the flag, so I really took my most lofted wedge, my 58 degree, laid it open and kind of played that like a little sand shot. This one, we've got a lot of green to work with, so I can hit this out of here with a little lower trajectory. So I'm going to use my 54 degree wedge instead of my 58. And I'm going to change that setup a little bit. I'm going to move the ball back in my stance. I'm really going to load my weight on that target side. Really put the weight on my left foot. And then it's going to be a little bit of a lift, and just let that club drop right in behind that ball. I'll want to try to follow through a little to let that come out of there. And as you can see, again, that didn't have much spin. It really ran as it went up to that hole. So you're not going to control these shots with spinning it. I took a big enough swing to get it out of here up onto that first level, and then let it roll back to the hole. When you find yourself in these little situations around the green where you've hit a shot that ends up in the rough, first of all, evaluate your lie. Then evaluate how much green you have to work with between where that ball sits and the flag. That determines the technique you'll use. If it's close to the flag, you don't have much green to work with, lay that wedge open, make that kind of a sand swing, a big swing to flop it out of there. If you've got some green to work with, play the ball back, de-loft that club just a little bit, and it's a little bit of that pick and chop motion into the turf. You're going to try to keep that club moving, but the grass will probably grab the club. But both of these shots come out with very little spin, so they're going to run after you hit them. Work on that around the greens, and I think you'll be getting it up and down from these trouble spots. Thanks for tuning in.